Hey team, I'm Maddie. Welcome to Science Side Up. This is I'm pre-recording some pseudoscience reaction videos. While I randomly have energy today, so I'm gonna do that. And because I want to be able to put stuff out to my channel for you guys, but also listen, we're trying to get the nursery ready for baby. As I'm recording this, I'm 7 months pregnant. So I'm tired a lot. And anyway, so we're getting nursery ready for baby, which means, okay, so we sold my car and bought a minivan, which means stuff we were storing that we had taken out of what was our guest room and is now the nursery that we dumped in the garage. Now I can't dump in the garage because the minivan is much bigger than my old Honda Civic, which was a two-door, right? And so now it's in my office. So now I can't get to my chalkboard. But like reorganizing all of this nonsense is not a priority until we finish getting the nursery ready, which is currently an empty room because we just painted it. And this is my life. And if you're wondering how I'm dealing with stress, it's mostly the 12,000 sewing projects you see behind me up here on my desk here that you can't see that my sewing machine is set up right here. Anyway, this is my life right now, but I want to put stuff out. I want to put content out. And I've been feeling snarky and salty. So I was feeling snarky and salty and had some energy and didn't just want to be asleep. And I have my computer at school is working very hard on my PhD stuff in case my advisor, Stephen, is watching. Hi, Stephen. I promise I'm doing real work right now. I seriously cannot run anything else on my on that computer's processors, or it's going to just cry and go home. Anyway, okay, that was a long rant. This is my life right now, and it's great. It's great and wonderful, and it's a really lovely time in my life. There's just also a lot going on, but I love doing these pseudoscience react stuff, and I want to put some of this out for you guys. So on a whim, here's what we're reacting to today. On a whim, I thought I would go over to Instagram and just search #quantum physics and see what came up. And boy, howdy, this was the first thing, and then I started recording. So let's see how this looks. No, we'll embigify it. There we go. Gather electrons before you detox. Let's just talk about how beautiful this nonsense is. How beautiful this nonsense is. You'd think my voice was changing. Okay. So one, look at this beautiful photo or image here of our atom, right? How many electrons do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 12 electrons. So in theory, this is maybe a carbon atom, but we just have the one big nucleus, which... Okay, that's not even the ball and stick model you guys learned in high school, right? Okay. I'm also trying to be healthy, so I'm drinking this really green juice I got at 7-Eleven. Okay. So, this is from... I have no idea who this person is, right? Don't give them hate or anything. I'm not blocking their name out because I just searched it and pulled it up. Yeah. Anyway, most people are low in electrons. I hope, boy howdy, I hope not. Right? So remember that, listen, I'm not a chemist, and I'm not a biologist, and I'm not a DACTA, and so I don't have a deep understanding of how the human body functions. But I do have a basic understanding of how the human body functions. And basically, as I understand it, we are just meat sacks in a really carefully balanced chemical equilibrium. And if chemistry starts happening where and when chemistry is not supposed to be happening, it's generally bad for us. So this idea that most people are low in electrons, right? What is chemistry but just interactions of atoms' electrons? That's all. That's what chemistry is in, a sentence. I'm sorry to any chemist watching that I'm not trying to insult your whole field. That's just I'm not a chemist, but this is what I understand. Okay. Um, Most people are low in electrons. So if you don't have, if an atom, what she's saying is that individual atoms in our body don't have enough electrons, right? Because that's where electrons live, orbiting individual atoms. Because I'm not made of metal, neither are you. And remember that in a metal or in a plasma, you get kind of an electron soup where electrons freely move between nuclei, which is why metals are conductive. But I'm not particularly conductive, right? I'm a little conductive, but I'm not super conductive. So, and I'm not, again, I'm not a metal. So, if you are telling me that I am low in electrons, then I have ions in my body. I have atoms in my body that are positively charged. Atoms don't like being positively charged. That is what makes them run amok and go do chemistry, where chemistry is not supposed to be happening in the body. And frankly, that is how you die. That's a great way to die really fast. Or that'll mess with your DNA, blah blah blah. That's how radiation damage works, by the way. Like photons come in and strip off electrons and create positive ions, and then those positive ions go on to wreak havoc in your body by doing chemistry where and when they're not supposed to be doing chemistry, messing up the careful chemical equilibrium that sustains us meat sacks, right? So this idea that most people are low in electrons is nonsense. That's like saying most people are suffering from radiation poisoning every day. That's not real. We would all die. Now okay, but apparently that's what's happening, and that's why you need this spells disaster when you're trying to detox. Once again, team, if you have a functioning liver, you don't need to detox. Your functioning liver does that for you, right? Our meat sacks have built-in engines, effectively, to get rid of things that your body that don't support or nourish your body, right? We've got built-in systems for that. And about the worst you can do is like you could overload that system, right? But the thing to detox is like for example, drinking too much alcohol, lots and lots and lots of alcohol over a very long period of time will mess with your liver, right? And your liver is the thing that like removes toxins from your body. So in a sense, over like what you're doing when you're like drink, like even like alcohol poisoning, right? You're putting too much bad stuff in your body too fast for your body's processes to filter it out. But the solution to that is not to do a juice cleanse, it's to like not drink alcohol for a while, right? Or maybe ever. That's up to you. Um okay. Uh anyway, so but apparently, this is just sentence by sentence. This is so nonsense. A phrase you hear in quantum biology. I don't know what quantum biology is. I suppose you could study. Would you study biology at a quantum level? I don't think so, because quantum is like at a subatomic level. And so if we're thinking about like biology of like organisms, like living organisms, right? Living versus not living kind of ceases to mean anything if we're at a subatomic level, right? Then it's all just particles. So I don't know what quantum biology is. I have a feeling that's pseudoscience. Maybe I should try to Google quantum biology for this stream, or maybe that's another stream. Maybe I'll have to figure that out. Okay. And I don't know who Dr. Jack Kruse is. You know what? We're right here. Let's Google him. Let's find out. Dr. Jack Kruse. Copy. I have an incognito window up. I think I do. Yeah. Okay. Paste. And I need to share a different screen with you, my good friends of the internet. And share screen. No. This one. Shit. Okay, Dr. Jack Kruse. Neurosurgeon and optimal health educator. Oh no. Oh no. I'm mad that he's a neurosurgeon. Hmm. Reversing disease for optimal health. Oh, geez. There's a deep connection between thermodynamics and the biology and the processing of energy and information. This process begins in the skin, and this biophysical process will be explored in exam. This is for his Nourish Vermont 2018 thing. Just who are you? FAQs. Okay. You are my company. You are my company. My passion is found in my purpose. My passion is found in my purpose in defining the key metrics of health for all humans. What do we do at jackkruse.com? I am a health innovator. I connect concepts across disciplines to show you how they work in cells and build a fortress of health in your tissues. This feels like a scam to me. What do we stand for at Jack Kruse? We stand for a connection between you and nature. Cool. No. This. Oh dear. Okay. About. Here we go. That's what I want. Okay. Dr. Jack Kruse is a respected neurosurgeon and CEO of Kruse Longevity Center at Destin. I'm assuming that's in Texas. A health and wellness company dedicated to helping patients avoid the healthcare burdens we typically encounter as we age. He is currently in private practice in the Gulf South. As a neurosurgeon, wow, okay. Dr. Kruse's research has been published in respected dental and medical journals. His popular blog gets lots of cool. Okay, this does not read like credentials to me of a legitimate doctor. Okay. I'm not gonna. This. Oh gosh, he even looks like a scam artist. I'm sorry. Like, there's like that slicked back hair, TV preacher vibe that he's giving me that just like sends off might be a cult alarm bells in my brain. Oh dear. Okay. Epi-paleo prescription. Whoa. This feels. This. How to ground your computer. Why is this on here? What does this have to do with wellness? How to create a grounding cord and ground your computer. Oh no, that's reducing your exposure to electromagnetic forces while you work. Oh dear, we're concerned about EMFs. Oh no, oh no. Okay, tell me you don't understand electromagnetism without telling me you don't understand electromagnetism, right? Okay. So fun. I can see why this would be a guy that people into woo stuff fall for. Oh, I can see that. Anywho, all right. Let's go back. Let's go back to hashtag quantum physics on Instagram and like the first post I couldn't scroll by. All right. Redox before you detox. Redox is reduction oxidation reaction. So this is oh my goodness, like antioxidants is what this is, right? And you do want so an oxidation reaction, right? This is not as simple as gaining electrons versus losing electrons. It's not. Remember that an oxidation reaction is like it's an exothermal reaction. That generally, yeah, because this is what fire is. Like there's that joke that we're just burning to death very slowly, because of oxidation reactions that naturally occur in our cells. Processes go the other way, reduction reactions, But this gaining versus losing electrons, that's not what's happening. That's a really not a good way of thinking of it. So that's not, in biochemistry terms, reduction is gaining electrons. No. No, 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 no. So like it eating things with lots of antioxidants is typically healthy for you, because that's things like blueberries. I'm still on a blueberry kick. I think baby likes blueberries a whole lot. Anyway, blueberries, pomegranates, right? Things with like lots of color generally are high in antioxidants. And I don't know, I'm not a nutritionist, but like those all sound good for you. Anywho, the body runs on a negative charge. Citation needed. I assure you, I am not charged. Right? Oh my goodness, I am not. Uh, in a simplistic way, this means it needs more electrons than protons. No! No! It needs to be in a reduced state. No, it does not. No! That's just complete nonsense, right? And I'm not a magnet. If I was charged, like, I would act like a magnet. We're not meat magnets. My goodness, this is very silly. This is like, this person, like, again, tell me you didn't understand high school chemistry without telling me you didn't understand high school chemistry, right? This is like, no, if you think about this for a second, this is nonsense, and in no way, shape, or form how living cells work. So it is true that there are lots of electrical signals in our body, right? That's like how your nervous system works. It transmits electrical signals left, right, and center. But that works off of, so there are some charged particles in our body, but you want them where and when they're supposed to be there, and not where and when they're not supposed to be there. And it should average out to zero, right? We should not be charged. And I glance at the next sentence and I'm already losing my mind. Unfortunately, inflammation is synonymous with lost electrons, oxidation. Still no, right? No. Inflammation is like, or something is inflamed, right? If something's like swollen, that's like a natural response your body does, and it like sends extra blood there, which makes it like swell and be inflamed. But that's like supposed to help things heal. So there's also, I know in the wellness community, like inflammation is used to like, it's like a root of all evil kind of thing. Like every problem in the body is secretly inflammation. And so this is like, every problem in the body is inflammation, which is secretly lost electrons, which is just oxidation. So quantum biology, I think I just wrote a really bad sci-fi script, right? That's what I just did in that sentence. Because I just said random words in a random order that has no meaning. Okay. So inflammation is not synonymous with lost electrons. Inflammation is like, more blood flowed to this region because my body thinks it's damaged. Cool. That's it. That's what that means. Doesn't mean anything else. Okay. Typically people want to do a detox protocols when they are inflamed. No, listen, if my ankle's swollen because I rolled it, I'm not going to do a juice cleanse. Like, I don't see how that's going to help. Trying to detox the body when it's already low on electrons is a recipe for disaster. This is just no. What? Because again, this word detox means nothing, right? So, and low on electrons means nothing. So this is just nonsense. But what's really scary to me is this makes sense to her and apparently the 4,168 people who have liked this. I've seen so many people react poorly to detox protocols when they lack negative charge. Oh, okay. I see what she's doing. I see what she's doing. It's not that my detox protocol is bad for you, and like, it's that you were too low on electrons to do it in the first place. And so, like, it's your fault that this didn't work for you and be a panacea, right? Like, you know, this is really frustrating because, like, I I feel much better now, but like I've dealt with chronic illness for pretty much my entire adult life, right? And it's really sucks and is stupid and I hate it, right? It's dumb. Um but if I and I've been in really vulnerable places where I'm just like I'll try anything, just to make this pain go away. Um but I mean, listen, I'm also, you guys know I was raised like cult adjacent. And so my cult o meter, which includes like bad pseudoscience o meter, is so finely tuned. Most nobody ever really tried to like sell me pseudoscience junk, right? Have since I was pregnant. I've gotten some suggestions of essential oils while pregnant. But not for like all my chronic illness stuff. Go figure. But I could absolutely see somebody trying to tell me, oh, take advantage of me and say, like, oh, hey, you are in chronic pain, you're chronically ill. It's totally because there's an imbalance in the electrons in your body, and like you have all this inflammation in that area. Just do that 5-day detox and it'll like fix that. And then there's like a, well, what do I have to lose kind of attitude, right? I can so see how somebody gets in that spot. And then you try it and you don't feel any better, and you may very well feel worse, because some of these detoxes are nonsense, right? And then if I was to come back to this person, be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done the detox protocol when you were low on electrons already because you were lacking negative charge. So then it becomes my fault that their like panacea didn't work for me because I didn't do something right. There's nothing wrong with the cure-all. There's nothing wrong with the panacea. There's nothing wrong with what I did, right? So the blame goes on me. This is the exact same thing, right? This is the exact same mentality, and it's just like same thing, different packaging as when like faith healing doesn't work, right? Um, oh, well, the reason that you're praying so hard to get better and aren't getting better is clearly because you don't have enough faith, right? Or because you haven't learned what God wanted you to learn from this experience, right? And that is, it's the same thing. It's our cure all, right? Isn't working for you specifically because there's something wrong with you or because you're doing it wrong. And so this is toxic and stupid and I hate it. Okay. Gather up electrons. Please am I just did they exist in a soup? Can I just go scoop some up? Right? Where do I gather up electrons? How do I do that? Most people realize that when they do this, they don't actually need a detox protocol anymore. So where do I go scoop up some electrons and dig them up from the ground or plant them maybe? How do I do that? Gather electrons by grounding. Great. Okay. So that's like put your bare feet in the earth. So we're supposed to scoop some up from the earth with our bare feet. Sunlight on the skin. No, actually, oh, here's fun. Especially UV. UV gives you some. It's not nearly as bad right now, but I got a really bad sunburn a couple weeks ago. We were visiting my husband's family and we went to the beach and it was cloudy, so my pasty ass didn't think I needed sunscreen, and that was dumb. That was very dumb. I always need sunscreen. I am very pale. So I got fried. So a sunburn, if you're wondering, that's radiation damage, right? Because UV light, right? UV light is ionizing radiation. What does that do, you ask? It comes into your body and it ionizes atoms in your body, in your cells, right? By stripping away electrons. So the method that she suggests for me to gather some electrons is literally, this UV light literally does the opposite. It literally strips away electrons and creates a positively charged ion that can then go run amok and do damage to your cells, to your body, by doing a bunch of chemistry where and when it's not supposed to do chemistry, and that has a tendency to kill cells, right? Okay. Now red light and IR light, that's non-ionizing. There's not enough energy in that for it to do anything to electrons. So that's fun. Infrared, you said that in the line above. Sunlight, sauna. Please explain to me how steam is infrared. Exercise, again, same thing. Mineral-rich water. Movement. No. None of these give your body electrons. You can't go scoop them up anywhere. We can't go gather them like we would gather mushrooms. Minimize things that deplete electrons, like UV. Gosh. Blue light, indoor living. NN EMFs? Electromagnetic frequencies. So I don't know what NN means. But that's also light. That's also just light at a different wavelength. Wearing shoes on the grass. Never eating DHA. Sunglasses. Don't wear sunglasses. Stare directly at the sun to let your eyes melt. Fluoride. That just helps your teeth. Anesthesia. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Listen, if you're offered anesthesia, for crying out loud, take it. Jeez. So, like, with my chronic illness, I had a lot of pain management, like, procedures, and some of them were done without anesthesia, and some of them were done with anesthesia, and oh, good God, take anesthesia. Insist on it. You're not tough for not using anesthesia. That's a great way to gather up some medical trauma. No. Jeez. Interestingly, all of the things listed in this post also maintain easy water, the special structured water that makes up the majority of water in our bodies. Exclusion zone? Remember, easy exclusion zone water forms around every biological surface, from proteins to membranes to organelles. EZ is an abbreviation for exclusion zone. Why is it called an exclusion zone? Because it literally structures itself into a barrier that excludes anything the size of a proton or larger. So no, because you have to have transport across cell membranes for things to work. Like, for biological processes to work, that has to do with a lot of transport of, like, this cell gives that cell stuff to function. I'm so good at biology. Anyway. Okay. Goodness. This means that when we have more exclusion zone water around every surface, we fortify our bodies against toxins since they cannot penetrate the exclusion zone. No? Listen, you can drink as much, like, water as you want. If you then go, I don't know, go live in Beijing, right? See what it does to your lungs in a year. Right, if you're breathing in actual toxins, right, actual things that do you harm, you know, like pollution. Pollution is what comes to my mind first off the top of my head because I'm a meteorologist. Right, and so that's in my wheelhouse, thinking about aerosols that are harmful to humans and how those disperse in the boundary layer, so the layer of the atmosphere that's closest to the Earth's surface, blah 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 blah. Okay, So like no amount of fancy water is going to uh prevent, if you're in a high pollution area and you breathe in that pollution, that's toxic to your body, that's going to do damage. And your body is pretty darn good at like repairing itself, given you like stop adding to the bad stuff, right? Again, I'm so good at biology, clearly. So this is nonsense, but I would want like a cell biologist to explain exactly to me and to y'all why this is nonsense. Those are her 2 cents on detoxification. It's a lot more than 2 cents worth. Well, let me rephrase. Your 2 cents is worth nothing, but you said a lot for it to be worth nothing, love. Okay. Okay, so these are our hashtags. Hashtags photons, hashtag biophotons, hashtag easy water, resonance, quantum biology, quantum physics, quantum field, earthing, mitochondriac. Jeez, okay. Let's close this and see what else we can find. Oh my goodness. When there's a song stuck in your mind and your sibling starts randomly singing the same song, quantum entanglement. No. Ever noticed before? Okay. All right, so there's not. So this isn't quantum entanglement. This isn't. Quantum entanglement is I have two subatomic particles smaller than an atom that are entangled, which means one will have, let's just say one has a spin directed up. That means the other spin will be directed down. Okay, so two particles. And then what's crazy is that if I move them really far away from each other, right? So there's no way to communicate with each other. And I flip the spin of this one so that it's down, this one instantaneously flips up, right? So there is this weird instantaneous communication between these two particles, and we say that those two particles are like quantumly entangled. That's what quantum entanglement is. But it's not something we have observed on a macro level, right? That's one of the weird things about quantum physics versus other forms of physics, right? Is that behaviors on the quantum level, behaviors of particles on the quantum level, don't match with the way objects behave at a macro level, right? So just because we can have these like connection of spin across space and weird instantaneous communication between them doesn't mean that when you and someone you're close to both have the same song stuck in your head, that's not quantum entanglement. Hate to break it to you, team. Okay. Colors don't exist. Yeah, because it's wavelengths and how we perceive them. Blah, 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 blah. There is a fifth dimension beyond that, which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. We got to read this. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition. No? Okay. Based on my understanding of string theory, superstring, M theory, which is limited, right? Based on my understanding of those things, our universe needs to actually has somewhere between 11 and 26 dimensions, right? You and I experience 4. We live in 3 spatial dimensions and 1 time dimension. Okay, so and that's really all we're able to perceive. So this is trying to be poetic about like higher dimensions exist, but like, yeah, higher dimensions exist and we don't know how they work. Because for you and I trying to understand higher dimensionality is like a stick person who lives on a piece of paper, lives in a 2-dimensional universe, trying to understand the concept of depth, right? Trying to understand a third spatial dimension. And so that's where I always like to draw an analogy. Um, so like, yeah, there's a fifth dimension. There's also like then six more on top of that. Right. So this isn't superstition. This isn't magic. This like it is the middle ground between light and shadow, science and superstition. No, light and shadow is just light and then the absence of light. You don't need 5 dimensions for that. You don't need 26 dimensions for that. And science and superstition. So acknowledging that our universe is more complicated than you and I are really capable of comprehending, because try to imagine a fourth spatial dimension right now. Try to picture it, right? I have no idea what that looks like. So when I picture it, I go to um like a Rubik's cube, basically. So I picture 3 dimensions and then imagine that every point in 3 dimensions also has another attribute like color. And that's a way to visualize it, but that's not a spatial dimension, right? So I am no more capable of visualizing a fourth spatial dimension than a stick figure is capable of visualizing and understanding a third spatial dimension, right? Can't do it. Um. Anyway, cool. It's trying to be poetic and stuff. Oh no, higher frequency, truth, love. These are some great hashtags. Okay, no. What's this dude? I don't want to know. There's a lot of there's a lot of what's this? You must become conscious of the unconscious behaviors you've been choosing to demonstrate that have led to the same experiences, and then you must make new choices, take new actions, and create new experiences. What does that have to do with quantum physics? Nothing. Ooh, physics students. Let's look at this. Why? Why? What? Oh, that's why. Yeah, that makes sense. That's I've had this feeling before. This doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, okay. That's that's a relatable meme to me. That's my favorite post we've seen so far. Okay. In what is Let's read this one. In quantum entanglement, the information travels instantly, even if the entangled particles are billions of light years, not across, away. Billions of light years away. So scientists are now using this tech, that's not technology, that's just a state of matter, to develop quantum internet, which would be faster than the speed of light. No, I mean, like, that's very, 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 very much in the like theoretical, like that's what quantum computing is, right? Um, so the idea of quantum computing is, so right now, normal computers, everything gets down to one little bit, right? Everything comes down to binary. Everything that your computer does can be represented as either a 0 or a 1, right? Up or down, 0, 1. So with quantum entanglement, we could represent, instead of 0 and 1, right? We could have, say, up spin, down spin, right? 0, 1. And then we could represent everything by that. And if something changed, then these things being entangled, they would change instantaneously instead of at the speed of light. And so you could have even faster computers. That's the basic principle behind quantum computing, which I think is what this is actually trying to represent with this like quantum internet, that they mean quantum computing. And sure, this is a thing, but this is in deep, deep, deep theoretical research. Okay. Okay. Why is this? Oh no. Oh no, I need to read this. Every thought has an energetic frequency that sends out magnetic energy. the mind coach hypnotherapy. No, it doesn't. Jeez. Um, oh no. Okay. No. Every thought has an energetic frequency. Please explain to me what you mean by that. Right? That's just words stuck together. Like, it's not wrong to say that thoughts are energy. That's fine because it is, right? Our brains, our meat computers work by sending electrical signals. That is energy, that's electricity, right? And I guess that is I guess you could measure the frequency of that signal. Okay, so we could do that, but that doesn't send out magnetic energy. I think this has to do with some of that like new agey pseudoscience nonsense that's like your thoughts are a magnet that attract thoughts on the same frequency, and that's again like that's not how magnets work. Okay. Okay, goodness gracious. This is very silly. This is very silly. And we've been going for like 40 minutes. So let's scroll just a little bit longer and see if there's anything else that's just some beautiful nonsense. Maybe I can sort this instead of latest. Because these are not most recent. I want top posts. Like, can I get more top posts? I'm so good at Instagram. Um, that's not a link, so that's fun. Okay, I'm expecting this to sort like Reddit, but it doesn't. Okay, let me scroll down. Let me just see what else we've got. I mean, these are pictures of things in space, which is not quantum physics. That's like astrophysics, but very cool. Da, 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 da. Ohm's law. How I manifested law. Okay. All right. I think we might. All right. I'm going to end on this one because this is already cracking me up. I'll why I love you. I am why I miss you. BRB, be right back. PV equals nRT. F equals MA. KE. So this guy, pressure times volume is equal to number concentration of atoms times the gas constant times temperature. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. Kinetic energy is 1/2 mass times velocity squared. Pressure 1, volume 1 equals pressure 2, volume 2 in a closed system equals mc squared. I like that. That made me giggle. Okay, that made me giggle. I'm gonna stop on a giggle. Yeah, that first one was a beautiful gem. It was a beautiful, beautiful gem. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you liked some of this random pseudoscience debunking stuff. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You guys are really cool. If you are willing and able to financially support the channel, you can find my Buy Me a Coffee down in the description. You can also do like I think it's like a super thanks. It's a way you can it's like a super chat, but it's in the comments. So that's a thing you can do. Yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing super well. And I hope my life is less chaotic soon and I can get back to like regularly scheduled programming. I've got Weather 101 scripts written, but I can't get to my chalkboard. Anyway, you guys are cool. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye team.